We here at the Manchin Injury Law Group are frequently asked the question, but do I really need a lawyer for my personal injury claim? And if I do, why should I have a lawyer? Well, first of all, it's very important to get a lawyer as soon as possible. And that's because frequently evidence needs to be preserved. And sometimes that evidence needs to be preserved by the lawyer hiring an investigator to go out and examine the scene and perhaps talk to witnesses. But the other way in which that can come up is that sometimes there might be a videotape of something that occurred on some store's camera. And the lawyer can send that company a letter and tell them that that's evidence and that they need to protect that evidence and keep the evidence in the future so that it's not recorded over top of or gotten rid of, because it can be very important in cases. There are some other issues, though, as well. A lot of times what we're able to do as personal injury lawyers is to explain to people a little more about their medical condition and potentially what can happen than they can always get from the doctor. Sometimes they come out of the doctor's office and or out of the hospital, and they haven't been feeling well when they were in there, and they didn't understand everything that was said to them, and sometimes it just goes too quick when they use different terms. And so frequently we can help them understand their condition better. We can help them decide who or how to get additional treatment. In other words, what types of specialists might be appropriate in their claim if they're not getting well and if they need some more information. We're also able to help with the bill collectors. A lot of times folks, when they get out of work, they're either going to have medical bills that start to accrue, or there can be other bills that start to happen, and sometimes we can get some of those bill collectors to hold off on requiring payment, or at least partial payment during the litigation, and get them to hold off until the end. It's also important sometimes to go over who the bills should be submitted to. Sometimes there's medical payments coverage. Sometimes our clients have health insurance coverage. Sometimes they don't have any coverage at all. If there's no coverage, sometimes they can't get a doctor to see them unless they get a letter from a lawyer that says that we guarantee you payment out of settlement. If they do have insurance, there are different reasons why in one case you might want to use medical payments coverage first before you start using health insurance, and there are other cases in which you might want to do the reverse. Very rarely is the person's insurance company that hurt you going to offer to pay your bills up front. They're usually only going to do that at one time at the very end of the case when they settle the claim. And that's another area in which we provide valuable assistance, is knowing when it's time to settle the claim, helping to evaluate what the value of the claim is, and knowing what other cases, similar cases, settle for in the area, what they might have brought if they were taken to trial, that sort of thing. And then we're able to negotiate those claims with the insurance company. A lot of times the insurance companies will treat individuals like they don't know anything at all, and they will offer them very meager settlements. And unless they know there's a lawyer there who's prepared to litigate the case and take it to trial, they don't always pay what the case is worth. And so the last thing that I wanted to mention is that these insurance claims adjusters can be pretty crafty, and they will frequently want to take a statement from somebody that's been in an accident. And you should not be giving that statement, because a lot of them are trained in how to get you to say things that will not sound exactly how you meant them and could ultimately be used against you in the case, or at least to bring down the value of your claim.